Alrighty, g'day and welcome back to the second part of the devlog for my big secret project, Project G. It's a little bit late this week and I do have a good excuse, so and that's what I want to talk about today. Basically, I decided that the scale of the world that I was using beforehand wasn't quite what I needed it to be. I think this kind of game works better with a much larger world, and in making the world larger, I broke the terrain generator that I was using, mainly because it wasn't very well optimized, and so after upping the size of the world by about I think it was 4 times over, the terrain generator was taking 2 to 3 minutes to generate a fairly boring terrain. And so I've spent the last week and 3 days researching, experimenting, and eventually coding some different terrain generating algorithms to replace the old one. Now, the one that I'm using now is probably the fifth that I looked at, and to be honest, it really should have been the first. I did a couple of different attempts trying to do it myself, and that was just a really bad idea. I was trying to reinvent the wheel where there was just no need to. This algorithm's very, very computationally cheap. It's quite effective. I've modified it slightly to get what I wanted out of it, but on the whole, it's very, very simple and has fantastic results. I haven't actually smoothed the landscape at all. I've turned my smoothing algorithm off. So what you see is what comes straight out of the generator. It's it's quite nice, isn't it? It obviously needs a little bit of smoothing because it's got some little artifacts that don't really look very nice. But on the whole, it should only need 1 or 2 passes because it's pretty close to what I wanted. I don't know if I've mentioned it yet, but it only takes about 20 seconds to generate this size map, which is, it's fairly impressive, especially considering the kind of results you get out of it. It's not too shabby. The algorithm itself is called the square diamond algorithm, which I'm not really going to go into because it's incredibly hard to explain, especially without any diagrams or whatnot, but it basically works by setting some points in the corners of a square and sets them to random heights. Then it uses those heights to generate, it averages them out, all 4 of those corners, and adds a random height to that height, whether it be negative or positive, to generate a height for the very middle. And then, excuse me, I did some cleaning yesterday and I decided to save some space in the bin by storing the dust in my lungs. But, where was I? Yeah, once it's generated that height in the middle, it then decides to, doesn't decide to, but it goes and generates points for here, 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 and here by getting the touching points, or the closest points, and averaging them out and doing the same random addition to it to get that point. And it keeps going in that fashion by using surrounding points to generate something in the middle of them until you get the whole map. Obviously that's many processes, but it's surprisingly fast. So I'm happy. I haven't really done much in the way of excuse me. I haven't really done much in the way of advancing my flora generation stuff. It's pretty much where it was a week ago when I put up the last video. So I've done some notes on the different types of flora and how I'm going to simulate their spreading initially before the game actually starts, but I haven't actually put finger to keyboard in terms of actually programming it yet, so hopefully that'll be in the next video. it also isn't, well, quite obviously isn't putting the textures in their places yet. It's all just grass at the moment, and I haven't bothered to fix these jaggy little clipping problems. So that should hopefully be in within a couple of days. Yeah, that'll be a pain in the ass, but it should look pretty good after I put in the textures. Sand for around the beaches, some rocks for the cliffs, some patches of desert, some waterfalls, some springs, all that sort of rubbish. But it should look pretty good once it's finished. I'm quite happy with how this. Well, as you can tell from how I've been harping on about it, I think that's pretty much everything I need to talk about this so far because I haven't really gotten anything else done. But hopefully I'll have something a little bit more interesting to show you next week. But I just thought I'd show off this. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you hopefully next week. Bye.